Recording. And good evening, everyone. This is Tim Rocco calling in from Chandler, Arizona. I'm really excited to be here. I believe it's the 3rd of October, 2018. And we're talking about how to profit from cryptocurrency. And if anybody has their microphone unmuted, let me see if I can just go ahead and mute the microphones here. Okay, there we go. So we'll get, I'm sure Lloyd can cut that out. So, hey, Tim Rocco, CryptoRocho calling in from Chandler, Arizona. Just wanted to give you an update on what's been happening in the crypto markets here recently and what I think is going to be happening going forward. We've got some pretty good news that's coming out about the blockchain industry and also the cryptocurrency trading industry. And so I think we're entering a pretty solid time for blockchain and cryptocurrency. I also believe there's going to be more regulation in the in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industries here in the United States and worldwide, which is good because if you have rules that you know how to play by, that's usually a good thing. And I don't know if you saw, but the largest miner of Bitcoin in the world, Bitmain, largest provider of equipment for doing Bitcoin mining, Bitmain, filed for an initial public offering out of Hong Kong here this past week. So we've got one of the huge players in the industry doing an IPO, and I believe that I read that Coinbase is now sitting at a $8 billion market cap valuation. So I mean, you've got some really exciting things going on. Also, if we're going to be talking about Coinbase quickly, they are going to be listing new coins. They're saying that they could list several new coins to be competitive in the marketplace with some of the larger exchanges like Bittrex and Binance and Huobi and others. So you'll see coins being added to Coinbase. I think there's been a lot of speculation that Ripple's XRP is going to be one of those, and once that announcement was made that they were going to add coins, XRP did go up. But let's go over a couple of things in the news. Brad Garlinghouse is saying that XRP is more decentralized than Bitcoin. And also said that Bitcoin was 1,000 times slower and more expensive than XRP. But remember, there's a difference between XRP and Bitcoin in that Bitcoin is truly a decentralized coin that runs on the Bitcoin blockchain. So you've got the Bitcoin blockchain, and then you've got miners all over the world that verify those transactions and record them to the blockchain, whereas XRP is used in transactions between right now financial institutions, and it's essentially more of a centralized currency between the between the financial institutions, and it's not a coin that is mined by miners and rewarded by miners. It was a pre-mined coin. So there is a little bit of difference, but I'm not saying that Ripple isn't going to be very successful. I'm not saying that XRP isn't a coin that you, or a token that you would want to own. I believe it's number 3 right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, XRP, $21 billion market cap. and today it was up about 0.5%, and $734 million worth of volume. It was actually the #2 coin for a short period of time. We'll go back to this in just a second. Bill Clinton was in the news talking about blockchain regulation, and that made the news. You probably want to look that up. But talking about Ripple and XRP, you can find that what happened was Ripple did a deal not only with Santander Bank, but also their blockchain XRapid. They're doing a deal with PNC Bank, which is a top 10 U.S. bank that's going to be using the XRapid blockchain product for cross-border payments. So that's a very, very big deal. That's a large piece of news in the blockchain community. So for people that are saying, hey, is this going to be around for a period of time? Is it just going to go down to zero? Is this extremely speculative? Yes, it is speculative. Yes, it is new, but you're seeing that there's a lot of very solid use cases for blockchain technology, especially in the financial realm, the health realm, identity realm, supply chain right now. So you'll see over the next 2 to 3 years, I think, there's going to be a lot of blockchain applications, and there's going to be some big winners in the cryptocurrency market. Let's take a look at the market as a whole. Today, 24-hour volume traded over exchanges was $13 billion. I think that, I don't know if I mentioned it on my last call, but I know I put it on LinkedIn, and I also put it on my Twitter account, that they believe that even though the volume of Bitcoin was $3.8 billion today, they believe that the over-the-counter, that wouldn't be listed here on CoinMarketCap because that's between buyers and sellers. Over-the-counter volume is about 3 to 4 times on a daily basis what it is on exchanges. So that means that the volume of Bitcoin on a daily basis could be $15+ billion per day, and the institutions, family offices are becoming more and more active in trading Bitcoin. We've got market capitalization of 216 billion. Let's take a look at the charts here over the last 7 days. I love to look at the overall market and keep an eye on that, because that'll give you a direct idea where the market has been and where it's going. So over the last 7 days, looks like we have a bottom of about 210 billion. Then we had a high here. It looks like about 225. And right now we're sitting toward the bottom of the market over the last 7 days. Let's take a month chart and see where we have these numbers. So it was 187 billion. And then, of course, it was as high as 239. So we're just about in the middle of the total market capitalization for all of the coins that are listed on CoinMarketCap. And here's a total market capitalization of all of the coins, excluding Bitcoin. So you call those altcoins. So over the last 7 days, 101 billion went as high as 111 billion, so it moved up about 10%, and right now it's sitting at 103, so it's somewhere toward the bottom. So I'm not saying that I'm expecting, not saying that the market is going to go up, but I think there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of positive news, and the market is a little bit of a value today. So let's look at a couple of the cryptocurrencies. Ethereum $223, Bitcoin Cash 520. Actually, on our we're not in our live account, but actually put in a buy for Bitcoin Cash at 498, and then another one at 512. And obviously, the 512 went ahead and filled, and we haven't gotten that 498. Hasn't broken the 500 level yet. Doesn't look like it's going to, but at 512, you can see what your upside is just over the last few days. The upside is 542, so that's 30 some odd dollars a coin. And then if we take that to from 1 hour to 6 hours, we get a larger trend. It was down to 426 at one point back in September. Went as high as 580. So this spread right here, even if you bought in the 440 range and took advantage of a sub 500 Bitcoin Cash, went up to as high as $583. That's a huge gain. And then let's look at Ether against the U.S. dollar, if that's what I've got. So we got the 6 hour chart, and it went down to 206, which we're looking at Ethereum at around the 200 mark being the bottom, and obviously somewhere around 240 to 270 being the higher mark. It could trade in that range, and that's where it's been trading. So you just need to know where your entry and your exit points are. You want to buy low and sell high. So let's look at one of the services that we take advantage of. It's Hacked, and they have a trade recommendation that came in about 12 hours ago. It was Komodo versus Bitcoin, KMD versus BTC, and they said it bounced off of lows of 1435. And this is not a recommendation by us. This is a subscription that one of the subscriptions that we have that we watch, and we're back testing the recommendations over the past several weeks to see if what their percentage of winners are. So let's take a look at this trade recommendation, Komodo, and see what Hacked had to say. And let's see, bounced off 1435 on September 12th. The market shed 88% from its 2018 high of 12,598 Satoshis. So it was way down. These are in what's called Satoshis, which is a fraction of a Bitcoin. And so they're saying technical analysis of KMD over BTC is poised to take out downtrend resistance at 1,750 Satoshis, and they're saying that would trigger a breakout. So let's see whether or not let's go into our program and find KMD and see what's happening. This is another program that we use that looks at all the coins. We're looking at the Binance exchange right now, looks at all the coins that are on Binance, and it gives you different RSI indications. It gives you volume indicators, highs and lows, etc. So I mean, it's a great program to use to if you're trading on any of the exchanges. We actually can watch coins on 7 different exchanges on this particular program right here. So what we're looking for is we're looking for KMD, and so what we have in KMD is 99% buyers and 0.8% sellers. It's up 19.6% today, and volume is a little bit up. So let's go to the exchange and take a look at what it looks like on Binance. Okay, so what we're looking at is we're looking at a 6 hour chart, and 42 Bitcoin traded today, so that's 42 times about 6,400. I think Bitcoin's 63 or 6,400 right now. So that would be the volume that would be on Binance for today. The high was 1748 and the low is 1668. So basically what they're saying is it's poised to break resistance at 1750, and it's sitting right now. Let's go to a 30-minute chart so we can take a look at it. It says that once it gets to 1750, which is right about here, that it's going to have a breakout. So if we look at our indicators, if we have our volume up, let's see, depth, got a lot of buyers and not too many sellers. So when we looked at our our chart here, they are correct. There are mostly buyers and very little sellers. You can actually see that on the depth chart here. So Komodo traders are holding on at this point in time. And so you've got a big wall. You probably are looking at a trade recommendation that could be something that you'd want to follow if you're on Binance to see whether or not they're right. Here's their chart that they cited on the 1750. So if you're looking at Binance and you're a chartist, it could be true, but I would say that you've got whales in the Komodo space that are holding it at a certain point, and you could have a little bit of a breakout. So this program is called CryptoLoom, and it gives you all the coins that are on Binance, like I said. So if you want to look at the volume of coins and trade based on volume, what you can do is you can set alerts, and if you see that there's a lot of volume on a particular coin, and let's use RCN. And so there was a big volume spike on RCN today, so that would have come up on our radar. And we're going to look at a 30-minute chart. We're going to look at a 15-minute chart, and there's the volume. So basically, if you were in at 300 and 396 satoshis, went as high as 427. A little bit of move. It's not really that expensive. It's only 3 cents. So you could have, somebody could have put maybe $300 into a trade like this and had, nice little upside within a day if you were actually day trading and on top of that. Now let's look at sellers and see who's selling. We've got 98% of the people are selling Ether, and 13% of the buyers are 0.13% are buyers. So let's take a look at Ethereum. And personally, I look at $200 as kind of the resistance point. It's taken a while for Binance to come up. Let's look at it right here. Same. Let's go 15 minutes. And so you had a lot of selling going from 221 down to about 214, and then predictably you had a spike in volume about 7 or or $8. So you might have a lot of sellers, but you see there's a reversal in the trend in Ethereum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the mics. Anybody has questions for me, I'll take questions, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So your mics are now unmuted.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Ricky.
Just a quick question, Tim. You mentioned earlier in the presentation about mined and pre-mined coins. Should we stay clear of pre-mined coins in your opinion?
No, there's a distinction between the two. There's centralized and decentralized coins. So it's the Bitcoin blockchain is a decentralized blockchain, which means that you could buy an ASICs mining machine yourself, Ricky, and start running it and mining Bitcoin, solving those algorithms to get rewarded for confirming transactions, right? And then we can look at another one. And then the other pre-mined coin was Ripple, right? There's a huge supply of XRPs, and those were all pre-mined. So that's more of a centralized coin rather than a decentralized coin. We're looking at opportunities for the underlying company too, Ricky. So I'm not saying that a pre-mined or a decentral is better than a decentralized mine coin. Here's Etherscan.io, and these are all the transactions that are being done on the Ethereum network right now. So if you look at Ethereum, here it is right here, and then we can actually see the transactions that are being done on the blockchain right now. So this is a decentralized coin, right? Ethereum is a decentralized blockchain and coin, and you've got computers all over the world that are solving these transactions. There's two block confirmations on this one. Let's take a look at an earlier, maybe even a bigger one. So there's a lot of activity right now. IDEX, that's actually a decentralized exchange. So here you've got transactions that are being confirmed, and this was their reward. It's called gas. Won't go into it tonight, but it's the reward, and you can see the amount of ether that was rewarded to the miners that did the block confirmation. So this is basically how this works. I mean, it's not like a bank where you can't see your money moving, you can't see your money in the bank, you don't know where it's going. The blockchain is truly revolutionary that you see this type of transparency in moving value from one place to the other. So hopefully that answered your question.
Thanks, Tim.
John.
Hey, John.
You mentioned a URL. The closest I could come to it was CryptoLoom. Was that LOOM?
No, that's CRYPTOLUME. Yeah.
LUME. Okay.
Yeah, and that's,
is that a .com?
That's a .co, and that's a subscription service.
Oh, I see.
This is a subscription service. Very, very robust. As is hacked. So basically, let me go over tonight's kind of pitch. We're part of High Performance Wealth or High Profit Wealth, the direct sales company, and we also are cryptocurrency traders. But what we're looking to accomplish here, not only with the trainings that we have from the other educators in high performance wealth, but what we're looking to put together here, John, Ricky, and everybody on the call tonight, is a community of people, a large community of people that we can start sharing ideas. Like Ricky sent me one today that was a kind of like a ETF. It's putting together 10 coins into a tradable coin, which I think those are going to be super hot. But if you start to look at, John, us being a larger community, maybe 50, 100, 200 people of active folks, we're going to open up a Telegram channel. I mean, you can look at my my Set for Life Twitter account. You know, I put out information on you know, on that. And what we want to do is put together a brain trust of individuals so that we can share information, right? We can share in the cost in some of these, you know, some of these subscriptions, because we here at, you know, we here at Pecunia Advisors don't have all the answers, right? It's too big a market. I think that we're doing a good job calling the market as it is right now, but there's opportunities out there that come up, and with you know, with a couple hundred people, part of a Telegram or a private channel, I think that we can be much more profitable and much more active. So that's my pitch. I think bringing more people into the community is really what we need to do. Get people active, because it's great to, you know, it's nice to work for money and make money off of maybe your job or your direct sales opportunity or something else. But it's also very nice to accumulate wealth. And, you know, I'm not saying that cryptocurrency should be, you know, 100% of your portfolio, but just a part of your portfolio, because there are some, you know, some excellent opportunities. I'll tell you another coin before we stop is EOS. And if you look at over the past, I think it's 5-6 years, there's an individual, his name is Daniel Larimer, and he was the architect of a what's called BitShares, right? That's a decentralized blockchain protocol built on what's called graphene, and it's a decentralized exchange means that it's kind of like an order book, and they don't actually keep your money and your coins like Coinbase does. They actually house your coins, and they have your coins on there. The BitShares network is a decentralized exchange, and you saw IDEX just a minute ago. That's another decentralized exchange, and you actually keep your coins in your wallet with your private key. So you house them yourself. You don't give them to somebody else for them to manage. So you know exactly what you have. But the exchange itself serves as kind of an order book that you can match if you want to buy and sell your tokens on the exchange. So BitShares was one of the first. The second one that he did was Steemit, and you know, Steem is actually pretty big. And the third one that they did is EOS, and they thought that you know, a lot of people said that ICOs were dead, but EOS actually did a $4 billion ICO. They're sitting at $5.1 billion in market cap right now, but they did a $4 billion market cap. But what I'm trying to say is there's a couple of people in the industry that are absolute total geniuses, and they've had some tremendous success, like Jed McCaleb was one of the founders of Ripple, XRP is the number 3 coin. And if you see number 6 here, Jed McCaleb is also the founder and CEO of Stellar. And if you look at EOS, there's Daniel Larimer. Then if we go down, I don't know where to be, but we've got, we're looking for, if you guys know where they are, Steam, and also BitShares. There's BitShares right there, which is the number 34 coin. And I think maybe pass it over. Nope, there it is right there, number 39. So success leaves clues, guys. So if you're looking at blockchains that are successful, companies that might be around for a long time, I want to give you as much information as I can. But guys like Daniel Larimer and Jed McCaleb, they're very successful individuals in the industry, and knowing a little bit about their background and what they're up to could be to your advantage. So any other questions, comments, or?
Are you there, Tim?
Yes.
Hi, Tim. It's Steve Hinchy. How are you?
Hey, Steve.
Mate, just not on tonight's topic, but I was just wondering if you may have come across the Carat Gold coin from Carat Bars.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
What your opinion of that is?
KBC?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. KBC, can you actually get it out of your wallet yet, or?
Well, I'm sort of on the cusp, if you like. I've had Carat Bars for ages, but when they brought the Carat Gold coin, yeah, that's the one. They brought that out. I put some, I've got some Ethereum aside for it, actually. And I was just wondering what your opinion of it was, and what do you think it's backed by gold, of course. That was the attractive part of it. Whether that makes a difference to whether it will sail or not, I don't know.
You know, I don't know. I mean, have they showed the gold-backed reserves yet, or is it the next coin that's coming out that's going to be backed by gold? Because you've got this coin, which is KBC. Isn't there a KCB coin that's coming out?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it for a little while. I just happened to have the opportunity to talk to you today about the original one. I'm pretty sure they've got the gold for it. I think they've got a in Southeast Asia. They've got they've bought a mine, if I understand it. I'm not sure whether it's Bougainville or somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
So they've made a deposit. They've made a significant deposit already of gold to back the KBC.
KBC to BC, BTC, 120. So there isn't a lot of guys. There isn't a lot of volume out there right now. Volume's only about 207,000. I think people that got in early, got it at between a half a penny and 7/10 of a penny, something like that. And it's now a penny. It's thinly traded. I mean, if you feel good about it and it's a penny or less, it's really up to you. The one thing that I would look at anytime I invest in a coin is what the total supply is, and this is what that's 12 billion, right? So if it goes to a dime, that means that the coin would be what, worth 1.2 billion? Is my math right?
Mm-hmm.
And then then I'll go back here and I'll look at the top coins, and so that would actually put that KBC coin right now in today's market in the top 15. It would unseat Neo. So you just have to look at what the upside the upside potential, what you think the upside potential would be given the total supply. But it has good story.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Tim. It's very valuable. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks, guys. Let's get more people involved in high profit wealth and get them involved in cryptocurrency, and we can have more interaction and profit from cryptocurrency as a group. So good night. This is CryptoRocho. God bless. October 3rd, 2018.